Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another SCRAWLRBOX. This one got a little beat up. I don't know if it's the cardboard of the new boxes, but it tends to get a little more damage in the mail. But it's still here together. I'm just worried one of these days I'm going to have a box that's entirely busted open. Half my pull tab is gone. Let's find out what's inside. Ah, the artwork looks awesome. Very graphic. This is digital. You're cheating, SCRAWLRBOX, showing us digital art. Hatch is the moniker of a London-based artist and illustrator, Dave Smith. Mixing bold line work with detailed patterns and tone creates graphic, eye-catching compositions. Hatchworks features a variety of characters and iconography dug up from his imagination and discovered in his surroundings. I'll edit that out. Beautiful. I love the Cyclops skull thing. Okay. First thing we got is an entire pad of paper. Smooth white, bleed-proof paper, ideal for presentation visuals. Is it just marker paper? Ooh, I haven't done marker paper in ages. So, that's a lot of sheets too. 20 sheets. So, the thing about marker paper is it has a coating kind of on the back to keep the ink from soaking all the way through and bleeding on the next page. One thing that I discovered when I first started using markers is I accidentally was using the back sides of paper, and that protective coating actually lets the marker sit on top of the paper a little bit longer, and you can get some neat watercolory effects. I might see if this paper will do that, but that's fun. That's cool. That's a whole pad of paper. Thank you, SCRAWLRBOX. We have something that's jumped to its freedom, a dust-free Faber-Castell eraser. Oh, the paper is not holding together. Goodbye, paper. Cheating. That's fun. I think this is the first time they've put an actual, like, character on the sticker. The last one had the gold swirls, but this is, like, one of the characters. This is that dude. So, cool. We've got Tri-Blend Spectrum Noir. Oh, that's 3 colors. So we've got like a light, a medium, and a dark dusty rose color, or antique pink. We've got a golden brown and a nice tealy color. So it is the same colors in this artwork, but this is definitely digital. It's not digital, they lied to us. A chew bar, a HB pencil. They give us a lot of HB pencils, and black liner, 4mm from, what is this brand called? They're the ones who have like the Molotov stuff, maybe? I don't know. Is that a W or an M? I don't know. So we got a liner. That was me throwing the box. So, art, pencil, pen, CD, paper, really weird markers. March. What does the inside of your mind look like? If you had to draw your imagination, what sort of place would it be? This month, we want you to explore your strange and wonderful mind and then try to create a visual representation of your own imagination, closely examining the creatures, objects, and places that might exist within it. Have some fun and get creative with the things you might include. It could be anything at all. It could be your imagination is the limit, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't have to make sense, blah, blah, blah. So That's what the markers look like when you open them. 3 colors each. Yeah, Molotov's right. Black liner, pencil, eraser, paper, Imaginarium, a place dedicated to the imagination. Cool. I'm gonna have to think about this. Let's see what we can do. So looking at the featured artist Hatch, I knew I wanted to do something playing with symmetry along with the colors. So I scribbled through lots of different things I liked, playing with the symmetrical options on Procreate. And then I went through a million kerjillion different color combinations over and over and over again until I found one that I kind of liked. Okay, ladies and gents, I did not record tracing it off of the iPad onto the piece of paper because, dear Lord, it looks nice and cute on here, but putting it on a piece of paper, it was so complicated. It took me like over an hour just to put it from here to here, and I didn't even do a good job. Look at those lines. Let's hope I can ink it better. Okay. Let's go. So doing the inking was kind of relaxing just because it was already drawn. I knew what it kind of already was supposed to look like. I had a lot of trouble making sure I didn't forget anything because that was a lot of pencil lines. I also was a little bit worried about line weight. On the digital version, it was really easy to get a covariance and different amounts of line weight. Also making sure my lines were like super straight. And that's not as easy to do by hand. I mean, I could have gotten out a ruler and I had one sitting right here on my desk, but I'm lazy. I also realized now that I forgot to go back and do the numbers on the dice. Anyway, explaining this a little bit. 1, D&D dice. I have been obsessed with Dungeons and Dragons lately, as you've seen on my last video. I have dinosaur, more specifically Doryu from year before last's Inktober. I still very much love the story. I still want to go back and write it and finish it. And he's a super cutie pie. And he's amazing. What else do I got here? I have a 3-headed dog, Cerberus and or Fluffy. I have always been a big mythology buff. I'm pretty sure I talked about that recently in one of my videos. Was it 2 videos ago? Our last video? No, 2 videos ago. Something like that. And Cerberus is like my #1 favorite mythological critter because they're super cute and awesome. And then I have a pair of cat skulls. I, back home in Texas, actually had a pretty extensive collection of animal skulls that I left behind because you can't really bring those from country to country. And I don't really have space in my current life to rebuild that collection, but I hope to do that at some point because they're just so fun to have for anatomical reference. And I know I could have, plastic ones instead, but I don't know. There's something about holding a real thing. I had a cat skull, a beaver, a possum, and a hog, all from various places. The cat skull I got in an antique shop. The hog and the possum were found in the woods, and the beaver I got from a Renaissance Festival fur shop or something like that. I don't know. I just know its teeth were hot glued together. That was really annoying. Anyway, and then of course I have myself thrown in there, thinking, because it was supposed to be, my imagination, and that's super cute. Coloring with these markers was actually really fun because when you look at them on their own, they look incredibly similar from like dark to medium and light to medium. But when you have all three of them together, especially on the dice, I really like how the dice turned out. It looks really cool. Like the colors are different enough, which is awesome. The colors weren't quite exactly how I got on the digital version, but I was surprised how close I was able to get. The yellows as a whole were more desaturated, more orangey, but I still got the main idea across. Coloring them in sections was fun. I took apart the whole marker, as you can see, rather than doing it piece by piece, because I was really worried about coloring down the wrong color. So I was really going like, okay, lightest yellow, color everything that's the lightest yellow. Okay, medium, color everything that's medium. Okay, dark, color everything that's dark. And I was marking off, can't really see what's on my iPad, but I had it open. Oh, you can kind of see it with the color section, so I could like follow through each individual little section and make sure I stuck to my plan. Looking back, I wish I had done more blue dice and I had split some of the colors better because there is an uneven amount of things. I was really amused to see that I had all the colors I needed to really bring across my avatar with the green shirt and blue hair. And then, the quote-unquote brown hair, which I used the gold, and then the pink for my skin. It was funny to get to do that. It was also really amusing to color Doryu because I've actually never considered what he would look like in full color. I did spend a lot of time flipping the picture upside down and right side up. For some reason, it was easier for my brain to, wrap around filling things in if they were, closer to me. And I was looking at them correctly rather than, upside down and crooked. I don't know. I like the golden Cerberus because he looks like a golden retriever, but also I quite like the blue one because he looks all magical and hellish and still adorable. I really liked the pink and the yellow skull. I was really stuck on what to do with Doryu because I had never really seen him in color, and I had this kind of ribbon going through the whole illustration, and I kept losing track on which part was supposed to be ribbon and which part was supposed to be background because there's so much going on. So I actually go back later and try and fix it. But I wanted there to be some contrast, something kind of separating and bringing together the stuff, and I really liked it going through the skull. I'm pretty happy with what I did on the background. I wound up doing more contrast with having it half black, half white, and kind of fading into itself again. I didn't do a particularly clean job. There are some areas that should be one thing and other areas that should be another. But all in all, I think I did a decent job. I really liked this artwork. It's super cute. I'm going to put the digital lineup for Patreon patrons on Patreon. I mess that up every time. I don't know if anyone has interest in basically a coloring sheet of my imagination, but it just looks really neat. Maybe you guys can think of a better color combination than I did. Maybe you can keep track of the colors better than I did. Anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy this ridiculousness. What does your imagination look like? 'Cause Jesus, mine a little confusing. And what are you guys doing to keep yourselves occupied? I'm still working. Sweden didn't close their primary schools yet, so I get up every day and I go to work, and I'm in a school with a couple hundred kids and 100 coworkers, and we're doing our best. So I'm missing out on the wonders of quarantine, but I know there's a lot of people struggling right now. Let me know what you're doing. Are you having fun? And is there any interest in doing a real-time version of this video? I thought about doing it with some of my other artworks. I did it for the dinosaur one. let me know if you guys want to see me draw these things very slowly. I'll put it up. I'll do it. Anyway, wash your hands. Stay safe. If you're being told to stay inside, and I'll see you guys next week. Okay. Bye. I also want to take a minute to thank my patrons. Mom, Dad, Jamie, Hans, and Kaze Morg. I really need to ask you how to pronounce that. Kaze. Thank you, Kaze. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.